past your European playoffs. They were one series away from going to the Crucible last time. This is both of their second attempts. Let's see if they can do it. We're going to send you to the Battleground graphic so we can see where these matches are going to be going down. And we're going to see it's going to be Dragonshire as the first map. Braxis and that is Warhead Junction were the bans here. Both the StarCraft maps have been removed, and we're starting off very rotation heavy. Still one of the favorite maps of pro teams all over the world.
So Diamond Skin, abbreviation DS, picking Dragonshire, abbreviation DS. Probably a coincidence.
Coincidence, I think not.
But a good omen for Diamond Skin here. Dragonshire, one of the maps where you have the fewest 5 versus 5 team fights early on and in the mid game. There are a lot of separate laning strengths that come into play, one-on-ones, the 4-on-4 rotation between mid and bottom. So definitely a very interesting map to start with that will test the prowess of our teams here to be able to separate and still have a cohesive game plan. It will test that really well.
Absolutely, and we do have the fact that potentially the HGC teams could be running with an advantage because they knew they would be at the Crucible far sooner, so they had a chance to watch the playoffs and actually study the teams they're going up against. And Polska said it themselves, comfort picks can potentially be a thing, so let's see if Diamond Skin have done their research and can really potentially make use of that.
Yeah, since the Open Division playoffs, there's been a little bit less than 2 weeks for the teams to prepare here. For Polska Pamieta to say, okay, here's where we are. We got second place in Open Division. Now let's see where we can get. Let's see how we can prepare for Diamond Skin. And they have 2 rookies. Gugus and Polish Guru are relatively new to the scene here. But like you said, Sihu, really a star player here.
He is. He's been around since the very beginning, back on can't remember if it was Team Paper or 3D Max or something like that. I think it was 3D Max and then G2 Esports. All the way since the very start of when we had Professional Heroes Esports, and has been consistently up there, but it has sort of been bouncing on the line between the very top echelon of players and just below. And unfortunately, with the qualifiers, didn't fall into HGC in its first format, got so close in the second format. And now, I guess technically third time's the charm here for Schlichel, and he's running a slightly different roster to the last playoffs, to the last phase. See if this one's good enough for him.
Yeah, keep in mind what's at stake here. If you win this match, you will be a professional gamer in Heroes of the Storm for the next half year. 2018, the first half of the year, you'll be in Pro Division. For some, it's to defend what they had, but now are no longer certain of. And for the others, it's to try and break through into the pro scene through their Open Division grind, and now finally the Crucible.
Yeah, and you mentioned yourself that just getting in there is only half the battle, because we have had 2 teams from around the world who have come in via their own Crucible system. We've had Team Wish, who came in via the Crucible system and got so close to actually going to BlizzCon with the actual HGC playoffs that happened a couple weeks ago. And then in China, we also had Beyond the Game, who actually came in via the relegation system they have there and qualified for BlizzCon. Just getting there is half the battle, but once you're there, once you're in the HGC format, you have that potential, you have that opportunity to try and seize that journey to BlizzCon or journey to Mid-Season Brawl, to all of these huge events that Blizzard are putting on.
Yeah, exactly. All these events, Western Clash, Eastern Clash, what have you. Opportunities to test your mettle and prove what you are made of. But here we are on the first map between Diamond Skin and Polska Pamieta. By the way, Polska Pamieta means Poland remembers, in case you were wondering.
Indeed, it was from their original lineup from the first phase. It was basically made as something to do with roster swaps, where certain players were swapping around, and Poland remembered those players moving around, and that is the source behind the name. Whereas Diamond Skin, Chris just likes Diamond Skin as a talent. That is the logic behind that name. So it's going to be Polska Pamieta with the first ban, and we're going with still standard all these months later. Even last Crucible it was there. It's the Tassadar ban.
Yeah, exactly. Tassadar, the enabler of both kind of melee bruisers as well as any type of auto attacker with that Leeching Plasma. He offers wave clear, vision, teamfight damage and protection, and he really opens up draft. So the removal of him for Polska Pamieta, followed by a very quick Abathur ban on Dragonshire. And the ETC pick for Polska Pamieta, pretty much the main tank right now.
Yep, very true. And the Abathur ban as well has been something that a lot of the Open Division teams were leaning heavily on during the playoffs. So seeing that banned out, very nice choice by Diamondskin. Like you said, the main tag in the ETC, and now we have a lot of blow-up potential in the form of that Chromie and the Genji. Chromie with the consistent poke, and of course that potential one-shot combo, and Genji with that finishing blow style that he is well known for. A little bit harder against Uther due to the amount of armor he can offer, but still can be very effective due to the Uther's potentially high ability cooldowns.
Yeah, and Chromie has low ability cooldowns.
Very true.
3 seconds on her Sand Blast. So just to say one more thing about the Abathur ban here, it would be embarrassing to say that you didn't do your homework for such an important match, but this does show that they did, as Polska Pamieta liked to run Abathur together with heroes that have very good escape, such as Tyrael, Kharazim, Greymane, and then just kind of ignore the objective and just do a lot of push damage on the fort that is furthest away from the objective, for example on Infernal Shrines. And this looked, to be honest, like their #1 best strategy. They were unable to do it every game, but when they did it, they looked like a top-tier team, Polska Pamieta.
Completely agree. They have definitely shown some of the really impressive pushing strategies, so be interested to see if it's quite unlikely to see a push strategy with this one. This is very much for a poke and team fight style. Removing a solid top laner here in the form of Sonya. Does this imply they potentially want to leave ETC in the top lane, or they already have their own forts and they just don't want to deal with it now that the Malthael has been banned out?
I think there's a lot of dimensions to it. What you said, definitely a point here as well, but also why do you ban Malthael? Because, well, Malthael kind of beat Sonya pretty darn hard in that solo lane, taking the level 4 die alone talent. He can beat any warrior in that lane, so when you see the Malthael ban, okay, maybe you want Sonya.
The Malthael ban also makes a lot of sense just due to the fact that the main support they have is Uther. Gives a lot of armor, gives a lot of burst healing, whereas Malthael is mostly damage over time and ignores armor due to percentage damage. Now we have a lot of heroes with armor immediately coming in with that Malthael removed, and Nubarak and Arthas being picked up for Diamondskin, and once again, big factor we saw from the playoffs. Polska Pamieta really quite like the Arthas, so they would have maybe liked that.
Yeah, I think so too, and it's a 2-dimensional pick for that reason. Sounds like very few dimensions, but it's more than one. Where if you take Arthas just because you like it, but Sihu on Polska Pamieta with Arthas has been a true force for Polska Pamieta to make their whole game plan work.
To the point where we've even seen Syndragosa to great effect. As a reminder, not just even as a meme pick, just it works. And we see the final 2 picks from Polska, though they still go double tank, bringing out the Leoric and Rhaegar as the solo healer. Gul'dan, though, as the finishing shot here. Can Rhaegar keep up with the healing of Gul'dan? But the also question is Gul'dan safe enough against the Chromie and the Genji here? That is a potentially dangerous pick, but if they can keep it safe, it could work.
Yeah, we see Gul'dan. He actually saw very little play in Open Division. There was one team that basically picked Gul'dan every game. In the playoffs match. So, but yeah, Gul'dan doesn't have any special mobility. None of the allies here can give him bonus mobility, except for Divine Shield, I guess, gives a bit of mobility. But I like Diamondskin's plan here a lot. They go over the early Uther. They can still take double support if they're up against a lot of poison damage, but in the end, they weren't. And so they're able to draft out with a very strong front line.
Yeah. To clarify here, I do quite like the Gul'dan here. Yeah, it's potentially going to get blown up if Chromie can land her abilities, etc. But poison damage ticks through Genji's deflect, which is actually a pretty big deal. And Horrify is one of the highest effective abilities when it comes to dealing with Genji diving into your backline and even just disengaging from an ETC.
Yeah, exactly. Use it and wait for that Divine Shield to time out, wait for the next swipe of Genji, and Horrify to set him up in an unpalatable position. But yeah, I mean, I think the draft works for either side. Gul'dan will definitely be under pressure from Genji and Chromie. Maybe take that life protect talent against spell damage at 13 to deal with Chromie.
That'll be a good shout. We'll have to see if they do go with that. But once again, is the Uther really enough to deal with the huge amount of poke damage that we are going to see?
So the better teams are, the fewer times they will step into the lane to take poke damage from Chromie. I think positioning and deciding when it is time to contest the lane will be very important here in dealing with Chromie.
Indeed, it will. Now, I believe we're ready to head into game, but... Okay, so we are just going to pause for a second. The players are just getting ready But overall, once again, both drafts look really solid. This is not a situation of straight-up draft win for either team, which is fantastic for our first game. We can see that Diamond Skin have absolutely done their homework, and Polska did get a couple of those comfort picks they did want. They do have a little bit of percentage damage too, in the form of that Leoric, which appeared to be what Diamond Skin were trying to avoid with the ban on the Mouth AL.
Exactly, and maybe Rhaegar at 16 if he goes for the Wolf talent, the 5% bite. But let's talk about the solo lane too. Very important on Dragonshire. Of course, if you have someone like Genji, you'll never leave the solo laner completely alone. You'll go there, you add a bit of extra damage, allow your solo laner to win the trade, and then maybe even get a kill. So that Genji will definitely be looking to do this. But who the solo laner is going to be for Diamond Skin is not 100% clear. You have Leoric as a very clear solo laner for Polska Pamieta, but is he going to be up against the usual solo, Arthas, which would be a very favorable matchup for Leoric? Or are they going to put Greymane there instead, but it will weaken their 4-man rotation a bit? Or maybe, as we've seen sometimes, maybe there will not be a blueprint of a solo and a 4-lane.
Exactly.
Maybe everyone will be rotating very flexibly to deal with adapting situations.
Well, there is only one way to find out, Grubby, and that is if we head into the game. Ladies and gentlemen, it's game 1 of the Crucible between Diamond Skin and Polska Pamieta. And starting off on the left-hand side, it is, in fact, going to be Diamond Skin from the HGC Europe Pro Division. And playing for them, we see Sport Billy on the Anubarak. It's going to be Wolf Joe on that Uther, that very strong support at Thurdle, bringing out the Arthur, stealing it away from Polska. Nanda, he's got the Greymane, bringing out the multiple Wolves here, and Chris with that Gul'dan.
And then on the right side, in the red from the Open Division, ranked second in the playoffs, we've got Razaf on Rhaegar. We've got Gluehammer on ETC. Polish Guru is going to be playing Genji. And we've got Gugus on Chromie. And of course, Leoric there, played by Siku. In that top lane, it's Polska Pamieta.
And immediately, as we start off here, both teams do move to the mid lane. Not really looking for a mid fight, but they are very willing to accept an overextension if one is to happen. We're very much of the opinion that one team should absolutely not go all mid. Shehu taking lots of damage here, but able to sustain through it. Leoric incredibly hard to lock down, even this early in the game.
Yeah, so you were mentioning it. Oh, Anubarak! Oh, Sport Billy. Good goodness.
Yeah, Gluehammer acting like the rotation was happening and then immediately moving up to get that Anubarak while he was trying to make the rotation as well. Beautiful play and first blood to Polska Pamieta.
But that 5-man brawl in the middle, in theory, there's always one team that will get an advantage out of that in an average situation. It is the height of confidence to actually have both teams commit to it, because one team will come out ahead in the trade. So one team should not have done it, but they always believe that they can have a better execution than the other team. And it almost seems like a gentleman's agreement to stack up the mage quests. It's like, well, we've got Gul'dan, we want to get quest stacks. Well, we've got Chromie. In this case, Polska Pamieta outsmarted Diamond Skin a little bit with that fake rotation bot.
Whoa.
They get the Dragon Knight as well.
A 1 minute 30 Dragon Knight. Well, welcome to the Crucible, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this Dragon Knight, due to recent changes, not as impactful as it potentially is due to being an early game. Oh no, wait, we're still in the patch where it is still pretty tough, actually.
So we're still on the Kel'Thuzad patch. The Dragon Knight is still fast. It does not have the unstoppable status yet. Reason we're playing on this patch is because there were a few changes that didn't work out that well yet in the new one that are already being fixed, but the players need a stable patch to play on that they know, and they also played this in the playoffs, so it's the exact patch that they qualified with.
They've had a lot of time to practice on this as well. They know exactly what patch they're going to be playing on, so they've had a lot of warm-up time here. Now, talents as we have hit level 4, Dragon Knight does punt Thunder back, but he's able to rotate to a safer position. Interesting thing to mention already, that is Icy Talons coming in for Arthas. Attack speed, let's go.
Yeah, and just as Gluehammer is having a bad day here, he got interrupted on his escape and he will be taken out. First blood here for Diamond Skin. But Icy Talons, so interesting. Glad you highlighted a different level 4 for Arthas. And let's talk about, first of all, what it does right now. as Rhaegar gets attacked here. Hammer of Justice, good. I think he will be able to get away. Nice healing totem.
Good slow from Shekel as well, slowing down Anub'arak and preventing those extra auto attacks, giving him the escape route. Shekel himself able to escape as well with that Wraith Walk.
But this makes Eternal much better in the solo lane. He has block, which is called Rhyme, his version of physical block charges. And then there's Icy Talents. It ramps up his attack speed the longer he casts his Frozen Tempest when near an enemy hero. And that allows him to do so much more damage in the one-on-one lane. And it actually allows him to beat Leoric. So to answer that question from early game, is it going to be Greymane? Is it going to be Arthas? It's Arthas with an adapted build that we almost never see. He may even take Rune Tap at 7 because it combines really well with Icy Talents. Lots of auto attacks, lots of heals, or maybe still going with the classical Icebound Fortitude.
Yeah, there's a little bit of CC on the side of Polska in the form of just everything ETC has, basically, except for his E. So Fortitude could get some really good value, but if not, Rune Tap, considering he's going to be hitting a Wraith walking Leoric quite a bit. Eternal in a rough position though, almost able to survive actually, a 3-man gank. But like you said, even with that very good solo lane build, even he can't survive a 3 versus 1.
It is going to be Icebound Fortitude, so it really is a level 1/4 adaptation to the solo lane. Bit of a mistake there by Eternal. He did not turn off Frozen Tempest, while Polish Guru deflected the aura of ice with his sword and threw back kunais in Arthas' face. A lot of procs of damage, and I do believe that contributed to killing him there.
Quite possibly, yeah. Karami traps actually getting a little bit of value on Nanda there. Rashuf, though, does eat a cocktail, so a little bit of poke damage. But as Rhaegar, he's able to regen it quite quickly. He even could drop his healing totem if he did wish. And good use of that Chromie Vision talent at level 1. Able to see if anyone was on the point, so they know they can make a move. And as such, they do claim back bot lane.
It's such a big deal, the talent choice for Arthas here. It allows him to remove someone that's supposed to counter him with those auto attacks, putting a lot of damage on Leoric. So very key. In the meantime, Polska Pamieta doing very well in the quadruple lane, or in the 3+1 lane here. ETC has picked up groupies at level 1, so Gluehammer will be allowing more heals once he gets 20 regeneration globes on ETC to deal with Gul'dan's poison damage.
We also see another adjustment coming in here, also to deal with Gul'dan's poison damage. We have the Cyber Shield coming in from Genji, where using Cyber Agility grants him 50 spell armor for 2.5. So basically every time he gets hit by that poison, he just jumps over something and he's able to reduce that damage by half.
Very good call here. In the meantime, Polska Pamieta is turning on the pressure here. They continue to channel north and south shrines here. Chromie, thanks to her early heroic ability choice, which she gets at level 8, unlike every other hero in the game, is able to control bottom, and the Impale will be too late!
He got it! Polish Guru moving in, second Dragonite of the game. Anub'arak does dodge the punt though, and as such, the Dragonite is going to be moving up to the top lane, where Eternal is actually going to get entombed here. Dragonite drops the fire. They're going to try and kill him here, but he makes it behind the gate.
Very nice. Gets away on time. Sihu was chasing him down with that drain momentum at 7, getting the bonus movement speed, getting his early heroic, and with the Entomb tried to get a kill, but it was not quite to be. Still good damage. Dragonite here killing the top fountain. And, you know, bottom keep is the easiest way to finish the game, because there's the least amount of structures blocking you and blocking your movement. Leoric goes down. So bottom fort is most important to have a win condition, but actually going for the top fort here with Dragonite is really cool, because you remove the layer of protection that Arthas has been enjoying, the healing fountain. Leoric is much safer when he's overextended than Arthas, so now Leoric will be able to do much better in the solo lane for the rest of the game. So I really like that prioritization by Polska Pamieta. Nice cleanse there to stop the stun chain on Gluehammer.
Yeah, speaking of things we like, beautifully done there by Razuf, able to get his ETC out of there. And as such, they're able to get some really good value. They've taken down top 4, like you said, removing that protection, making Arthas' lane so much more difficult. And they were able to avoid a counter kill at the bottom of the map. Very nicely executed. 2 kills to 2 currently in the game, but overall, just under a full level lead in favor of Polska Pamieta.
Gosh, it's so cool to finally see Polska Pamieta square off against Diamond Skin. We've been, of course, casting Polska Pamieta for pretty much the whole year now. They got to top 4 in the playoffs last time. barely missing out, narrowly missing out on the Crucible. And now with a second place, they're able to face off against the Rank 7 Pro team from this season, Diamond Skin. And how are they going to be doing? You know, if I had to make a prediction, I would say Diamond Skin is the favorite a little bit here. But so far, Polska looks pretty good.
They are, in fact, looking quite good indeed. We do also, by the way, just quickly, we have Heroics picked for a little bit now. Cursed Bullet on the side of the Greymane. There's still a double tank on the other side, which is good. They do have very high blow-up potential with the whole ETC, with the Anub engage, or with even Arthur's root, especially if he does take the vulnerable later on. We'll have to see if that does happen.
Yeah, the shattered armor, minus 15 for Arthur's, but Cursed Bullet, I guess it kind of makes sense. It's literally the only percentage-based damage that Diamond Skin can do with their entire draft.
Until Alpha Killer later on, but again, that's sort of diving into an ETC
sure.
style. Yeah,
Alpha Killer, you have to be a Worgen. It's very limiting. So, yeah, that kind of helps with the Warriors. Polus Guru, very risky plays here. Got Hammer of Justice. And there we go with the mosh pit. Cleanse on Chris.
And Chris, he drops the Horrify, focusing Gluehammer, trying to punish him for his insolence here. But Gluehammer wades back through the lineup, and Ancestral used on Polus Guru. He was already safe, but this allows them to keep control of this bottom area. While Diamond Skin here, they have to pull back. The Bruiser Cap has pushed the lane up quite a bit.
I think Chris panicked a little bit there. The mosh pit was on him, but the cleanse was perfect. He was out. He did not need to interrupt the mosh pit with the Horrify immediately.
Yeah, he was looking for the kill, but he didn't have enough damage with him. His team was too busy zoning.
Exactly. They were distracted. They were already having their cooldowns used on other members. But still, nobody died. Heroics were used, but the game goes on. Dragon Knight attempt number 3 here for Polska Pamieta.
Chromie, on the other hand, has completed her quest, and she's gonna not maybe try to use it. She's just arrived in the lane here.
Well,
not hitting anyone yet.
She's got her Time Walker's Pursuit, bonus ability power here, and the maximum amount of mana regeneration. Still needs to get that Sand Blast quest.
Yeah, that's gonna take a while. It's still a very hard quest to stack up here. And you just see her poking in now as much as possible. The Rubian armor from Sport Billy, though, very much going to help with this. Going to be able to block a huge amount of those hits.
Good map control here by Polska Pamieta. And you'll notice the Leoric advantage as the game goes on. It's never okay to lose Leoric for free, but when he's dead, he still has vision, he still has a slow, he has a presence on the map. And he also is pretty good at getting away in general. So he can soak 1 or 2 lanes more than any other member of Diamond Skin can at a smaller risk.
Drain Cocoon is dropped here, but no one's in range to follow up because Nada's in trouble. Drain Hope's used and he gets taken out here. Shekel now able to move back as well. And due to the way he's moving, I am just going to check this quickly, but I'm pretty sure, yes he did. He's gone for Drain Momentum at level 7, so it's making Leoric far more mobile and able to get these really cool chase moves. We actually saw him a little bit earlier chasing Arthur's and microing, actually almost stutter stepping just to stay out of Arthur's slow range so we could keep getting that speed boost.
Yeah.
Little play on his turtle here.
Eternal uses Icebound Fortitude and Army of the Dead Horrify on Leoric, but the cleanse was good. Razaf is there for his Leoric. Not even letting Leoric go here to a senseless death. Cleanse, of course. Cleanse not going to be available, so everyone needs to be more and more careful here of the stunts that Diamond Skin possesses.
Yeah, you did also mention it earlier, Diamond Skin. In fact, we do see Gul'dan going for that Fell Armor, taking that Spell Shield now at level 13, so a little bit of extra protection here.
40% Spell Shield anytime he hits a Fell Flame for several seconds. Of course, that's pretty easy to hit on Leoric or ETC. Level 16 advantage. It's not easy to force getting a Dragon Knight, even when you have talent advantage, because it's such a tactical map full of rotations that even as you grab the bottom, you want to get the dragon in the middle. If you go with everyone, someone else can just steal the shrine again. But for now, it looks like it's going to be a 5 versus 5, which is really in favor of Polska Pamieta. Big damage there on Wolf Joe, but he gets away for now.
Yeah, Shekel also dropped so low, nearly finished off by the cocktail there, but was able to escape and distract long enough for his team to continue to gain control. Sport Billy has been doing a fantastic job denying this Dragon Knight for so long. Gluehammer coming in for another round. Uther denies him, and here comes the Entomb. They're going to try and make a play here. Mosh Pit's available. There it is. It doesn't interrupt the beautiful cleanse by Rajuf. Down goes the cooldown. 3 kills. Let's make it 4. Down goes Nanta.
Wow.
And Polska with a beautiful fight. Rajuf with the insane cleanse on the Mosh Pit.
That is so sick. Anubarak was meaning to interrupt with an unstoppable burrow charge, a stun and knock up at the end. But then the cleanse actually consigned Anubarak to his own little death as well, as this hell just expanded to include almost every member of Diamondskin. It looked like Diamondskin managed the chaos and the talent deficit really well, sending Arthur's top to stop the Dragon Knight Shrine from channeling, but then that happened. Uther with the final cancellation on the channel with the Holy Light, with the Holy Radiance, put himself in an overextended position. And Polska Pamieta gratefully capitalized on it. Now with the 3rd consecutive Dragon Knight, looking to peel away the layers of defenses of the structures that Diamondskin has.
Another cleanse trying to do it. Ancestral, the time out. Chromie's doing everything she can to survive, and she gets out. Rajuf, more beautiful cleanses, beautiful timeout. And is there anything that can stop this Polish support player at this point, as we see the Dragon Knight once again turning around? There's the Entomb, horrifying, but a good Borrow and Divine Shield there. Getting the Entomb out. Third will not be so lucky though, and he is taken out.
Well, the cleanse was really good on Anubarak. He immediately saved himself, but actually there was the panic Divine Shield here by Wolfjo as he cast that on an already escaped Anubarak. Very unfortunate, because it left Arthas extended. He might have been able to be saved as well.
We actually see, by the way, that Chromie has slightly adjusted for the potential dive, the dive potential of Anubarak and Doral Anomaly.
Yeah.
More traps. You want to dive me? You're going to find yourself stopped.
And there you see it. Triple time trap. 2 to the flank. It's going to stop
There's
Anubarak
one.
once.
They found it. They completely prevented the flank.
You saw the danger ping there by Diamondskin. If they check their talents, oh, there we go.
Beautiful play. They're going to rotate back. We're still seeing though Anub dropping in the cocoon onto the Rhaegar, but Rhaegar gets out. Gloomhammer's dropped low, but he's already out. The time traps and the slowing sound so good. Cocktail just short of range, and Chickle, they just stand next to him and let him go. They know they can't kill him in time.
There was some real threat here by Diamondskin. The cocoon on Razaf, on Rhaegar, and then trying to go for Chromie, but he missed the burrow charge. As such, Polska Pamieta was able to disengage, despite not having Ancestral Healing or Cleanse available yet. They make it out, and they will be looking at a very bright future, as level 20 is near on the horizon. Polska Pamieta is going to take 0 risks until they get their level 20, and from that moment onwards, they can start to push around their weight. Now applying Bruiser pressure to the top lane. I expect them to go 5 bottom, clear the siege, maybe grab the Bruiser, and apply some serious pressure to the bottom keep.
And a quick reminder to everyone here that this is, as you can see at the top of your screen, a best of 7 to get in here. Taking this first match, not going to be putting you in like a winning position, but it's definitely a momentum gainer to try and move it in. And when you are, it's what is potentially such an exhausting series as a best of 7, momentum can be such a huge deal.
Exactly, and you know, every map counts. You need to keep your wits about you, but you take your wins where you can, 1 match at a time. And here we are with that 5-man pressure. It's not in the bag yet. It's looking good, but Polska Pamieta still needs to prove it. Although the Dragon Shrine is channeling, their timing is now. There is no reason to delay into a kind of cat and mouse game where they try to control 3 points at the same time. That would be the best way to give away your level 20 advantage. Rather, you push with 2 camps, you get the keep, and then you turn around and try to get the Dragon Knight. And at that moment, it will become a win condition. The Dragon Knight can go straight for the core. Good defense, though, by Diamondskin. They're looking to get their level 20 themselves. And the good thing for them is they cleared top Bruiser Camp and they took 1 of the shrines. The Bruiser Camp will now apply pressure to the top and will help them to get their own level 20 in due time.
Is there anything Rajuf can't cleanse? Another engage there, attempted there. We can see Echo Corruption, you actually saw it on the Mercenary Camps a little bit earlier, has already been completed. So this is going to be really good poke potential, and it's great moving into the late game for Diamondskin. But once again, we saw Shekel potentially in trouble, potentially overextended. Rajuf, he's on point, another cleanse. And now that cleanse is gone, look at what they're doing. They're playing a little bit further back, putting down all the Chromie time traps, and just poking, just waiting for minions, poking in when they can. There's a Storm Shield used, keeping ETC alive. Ancestral has to be used, though. So much damage from the Echo Corruption, but they've got the keep, so absolutely worth. Like you said, the bot lane is one of the best to end through.
Yeah, so that was very well done by Polska Pamieta. They've had this plan for a while, but it was well done by Diamond Skin as well. When you find yourself down 2 and 8 in takedowns, 2 full levels and a Storm tier, you need to buy for time. And they made it last, you know, that keep. They got a few minion waves of XP in the bottom lane. The Bruiser Camp took out the top fort, and now level 19.3. Still a very difficult deficit to come back from. And Tomb chance here on Arthas. They go straight for him. Divine Shield, Horrify are good.
We're seeing a huge turnaround onto Genji, who tries to move out. Moshpit gets cocooned, and suddenly we're seeing Diamond Skin. It is all the control. Shackle will be able to Wraith Walk away, but ETC is in serious trouble. Stunlock's being dropped, and he is taken down. 2 kills picked up, maybe 3 as Shackle getting focused again. Wraith Walk will get him out of there, though. But beautiful fight there, pre-20 by Diamond Skin.
Yeah, that's exactly what Diamond Skin was waiting for. This is so good for them. You fight down a Storm tier talent, but you know that Ancestral Healing isn't available yet. Arthas puts himself as the focus target, but you've got Uther to save him. So although the Entomb happened, Polska Pamieta took a fight that they felt would be good for them positionally, but was very bad for them timing-wise with Ancestral Healing, and position-wise as well, as ETC and Genji found themselves entirely isolated behind a forest. Very well done here. Diamond Skin, they get the Dragonite, their first one of the game, and are looking to inflict some serious damage.
They've already taken down 1 fort of their own, but it's still 2 forts to... it's still 1 fort to 3 in favor of Polska, but now we're seeing Diamond Skin attempting to turn that around. They will easily just shred through bot fort, but there's still mid fort to deal with, and they can still try and put some pressure on to that middle lane as well if they want to, but no, they want to just begin using that Dragon Breath, start burning down the tower set up early. You can see Chromie once again trapped for days, preventing any kind of dive potential if they wanted to try and use that big Dragonite health pool to try and move in for the keep.
Now the key, of course, to good Dragonite usage is to make sure that its HP will last for as long as the timer lasts. So if you're taking too much damage, but you still have a minute on the Dragonite, you're doing it wrong. So they're waiting for minion waves to kind of help with the push here and going for the keep. Now I think they will expend its life on the keep. They will certainly get it. So Diamond Skin equalizes the structural damage. They equalize the levels, and they're only down a fort. This is so good for them. There's no way they'll try to go for the core now unless they get 2 kills. They're just playing it safe. They've gotten back into the game. These experienced Pro Division veterans.
Yeah, we're seeing the Dragonite getting focused down here. It is going to drop before the timer runs out, but a Eternal is already too far away for them to try and make a play. Right now, though, that mid fort still stands. It is both teams with a keep down in the bot lane, but we do, like we said, see that top lane, still there's a quite decent minion wave up there for Polska, and mid lane, that fort still standing is still just, it's a slowing down of any kind of push potential that we could see out of Diamond Skin.
And the game has equalized now, 21 minutes, level 21 apiece. And as of yet, Gugus has not yet reached his Chromie Sandblast quest. But he's at 58 out of 60. Once he does, he will get a Shadow of Chromie and it will do extra damage with Sandblast. There we go, he got 1 more hit.
Storm Shield's good, dropped the Entomb, that's silence onto Gul'dan, but he's able to run out of it. Cocoon is dropped as well, and Diamond Skin, they are turning this game around massively. ETC should be able to get out of here. So much CC, no, he is gone.
Wow.
Horrify dropped as well. He is just completely deleted here. Rhaegar is getting rooted repeatedly by Eternal. He's dropping as well. Time trap for the save, not enough. Killed by the Radiance. That's a 5v2. They could try and end here.
Very well played here by Diamond Skin with the Cocoon on ETC, isolated, killing Leoric with the Cursed Bullet, and then, very crucially, Arthas Eternal went for Rhaegar, and he prevented the Cocoon.
He's got the deflection, trying to stay alive, trying to keep his team in the game. He's still alive for the moment. Jekyll has returned because, you know, Leoric, and they're trying to chase it away. Small Billy is being pushed back. Wolf Joe is just all in on the core at this point. It's down to 50%, but he's being pushed away. He will die, and that will prompt the redemption. Maybe he won't die. Looks like they're going to let him. There we go. Jekyll chasing it down. Entomb with silence. Chromie damage.
Oh,
We're seeing Gul'dan. He's so low.
What?
We're seeing Uther's down. He's trying to catch up to Chris to heal him.
Wow.
Polish Guru gets the kill, looking for potentially more. Not able to finish up with Turtle though. Uther comes back to life. Shekel so low himself.
Leoric?
Cocoon's been dropped. Leoric, you have no health. What are you doing? He's going all in, trying to save Genji. Instead, he will drop as well. Chromie is now just alone, trying to blow up anyone. Will not get Wolf Joe. Wolf Joe able to escape here, and Gugus is forced to retreat because she's taking too much minion damage. Or maybe not. Gluehammer's here, they're still going.
This is bonkers. I thought this core all-in was a foregone conclusion, but it's a complete chaos here as both teams are coming apart at the seams here. Leoric, Uther, so many post-death trades here that are being made use of. And in the meantime, Chromie, who saw it coming all along, stays alive here and continues to fire, finally having that quest and having her bonus damage unlocked. The core, 31%. The members of Polska coming back. Shrine control, not bad. But Razaf, he cannot go here.
Yeah, back it up, back it up. You can see that thing going up. You can scout if you want. With Gluehammer here, you're able to get at least a little bit of healing. This is so risky. Now Gluehammer's actually potentially in danger. Reduce may have to drop cleanse again. There's the root. Looks like they may try and kill Arthur here. That is a risky play. Yeah. Here comes Wolf Joe, but Shekel is going to zone him out. Root onto Rajov. He's able to move back towards the slowing sands here. This time the Cocoon not getting the value it has before, but beautiful Echo Corruption damage.
Yeah, Arthur's Eternal remembers what he did to Rhaegar last time. Just going for Rhaegar, zoning him away from being able to cleanse and Ancestral the Cocoon target. Now Dragon Blade being used to get away. Deflect already used. Horrifying!
Beautiful play. Mosh pit on the Entomb. The silence is beautiful, but EDC is just dying to the poison. And we're seeing the backline getting wrecked by small Billy Shekels, just trying to hold the front here as Rajuf and Gugas are dropping all the damage they can. The Storm Shield was not enough. Down goes Rajuf. Gugas again the only survivor.
Again, no Ancestral being used here. The excellent zoning and the coordination by Diamond Skin allowing them to take down members before Razuf could even save them. Is it positioning or is it Diamond Skin just finding order here in the chaos? Their experience has seen them through the trials of being down 2 to 8 in takedowns, being down 3 levels. They've managed it. They're going for the core once again, and this time they will do it. Yeah. The first map to Diamond Skin.
Wolf Joe even dying onto the keep there on purpose just to get the maximum healing output in case someone came back to try and blow up. Didn't even have redemption. But that is game number 1 to Diamond Skin, despite, like you said, a rough early game for him. Polska looking strong, but a beautiful hold by the HGC Pro team.
Yeah, good drafting, good early and mid game by Polska, but a little wonkier in the late game. But that's only because they're facing a high caliber team here in Diamond Skin.
Yeah, very high caliber team indeed. Taking a situation where they lost a keep so early, able to turn that round and actually take the game. Even with that slightly wonky core call at the end there, they were still able to keep control and they were able to take it. They were able to disengage when they needed to. Beautiful play by Diamond Skin, but Polska, there's some real hope for him in this series.
Yeah, they will need to be able to do their good late game calls here, kind of find a little bit more order. I think as the game went on, there was a bit more discord between who to go for and when to go for it. The front line and the back line disconnect. Obviously, Chromie is not a dive hero. So in these very rapidly moving rotations between the top shrine and then the middle to the Dragon Knight, you need to remember Chromie is running on those little legs to try and catch up, and she's better at like a Western standoff kind of fight. And as speed of the game picked up, it became difficult for her to keep up.
Yeah, and you mentioned really beautifully in that last team fight that there was no Ancestral. We're going to actually get to see that as a replay, so you can point out the exact issues of why Rhaegar wasn't able to land that.
Well, like I said, it's a very quick rotation here to the mid lane. We have actually Genji simply just out of position. He thinks such a cool ninja, can get away anytime he wants with deflect, with that swift sweep, but it simply was, I would say, an individual mistake here, a mishap. As Sport Billy zones out Rhaegar here and Chromie, we still had someone grabbing the top shrine. And so there was no need for Genji to check that left side bush to try and get the Dragon Knight. And yeah, we had basically Diamond Skin in the right place at the right time. They were as 5. And the cool thing about channeling those double red lasers is that you've got the advantage on the map. So what happens when you have both of the lasers as the red team, as Polska Pamieta? You now no longer have to go top. You no longer have to go bot. All you got to do is to field 5 members in the middle, and as soon as you see someone stealing top shrine or stealing bottom shrine, that's when you move in and you force a 5 versus 4 in mid. To actually put yourself 1 or 2 mid while you have the double laser, that is the mistake here. That should not be happening.
And we did see their Polska very nearly make their way into the winning that game. But we're going to have a quick look at the journey they took to take here. We're going to bring you up the open division bracket. You can see here, Polska Pamieta, they beat out some really solid teams. They were able to beat out IKA Babro, the other full Polish team who made their way in here. Even beating out, they lost the leftovers in the upper finals and in the lower finals, but they were able to beat out Always Lucky, an insane team. They were so good in the open division, and Polska able to earn that 2nd spot.
And of course, not listed here is Polska's defeat in the seeding match in the very grand finals. Once again, 2 leftovers, but they beat pretty much everyone else.
Yes, they did. Now let's see if they can try and take a map, or potentially even the series versus Diamond Skin, as we see which battleground we are going to be on. Polska have chosen the map, and they are taking us to Towers of Doom. Great map for exactly the kind of situation they found themselves in there, where they were winning the entire game, and then one call all in sort of turns it around. This is the map where that can't happen.
Yeah, the only equivalent of a core all-in is to steal all of the opponent's bell towers, I guess,
yeah, that's
controlling all 6